To election offices to make machines and ballots more secure. This after the Sedgwick County Commission approved a $37,000 grant to improve security. 12 News reporter Gabriela Hernandez talked to the Sedgwick County Election Commissioner about what this will mean for elections. It's a story that's new at 9.
County Election Office, where today is the last day to register to vote. Now, election officials are working really hard behind the scenes to make sure you're secure with where your vote goes.
Nothing is more important than our local election. Nothing impacts our daily lives more than our local offices.
The grant will provide upgrades to each of the 105 county election offices, including physical security of election equipment and ballots. Sedgwick County Election Commissioner Laura Rainwater says the upgrades are with voters in mind.
Voter confidence is very important to us, and it's just another way to increase that voter confidence that we truly are taking it to the highest level we possibly can.
The grant comes from the Secretary of State's Federal Help America Vote Act security funds. Upgrades will have two main focuses. First, separating the voting machines from the warehouse office workers and adding secure key card access to official election spaces.
Currently, it's under lock and key with a written notepad that people must sign in and out of. Now we're going to go to key card access.
Rainwater says voter participation has increased since the 2020 election, and Sedgwick County currently has 331,000 registered voters. With the general election on November 7th, election officials are hoping the added security will help voters feel more comfortable and secure in where and how their votes are stored.
Rainwater does expect all security measures to be completed by February of 2024. Gabriela Hernandez, 12 News.